Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to break down the TCL operating framework. Now, this is more than just a rule book. It's a whole blueprint, really, designed for one big reason, to make sure everyone is on the same page so partnerships can actually succeed. We're going to get into how its structure creates that clarity and, protects everybody involved. But first, before we jump into the solution, let's talk about the problem. And it's a big one, a question I think pretty much anyone in business has asked at some point. Why do good partnerships, the ones that start out with so much promise, end up falling apart? And the framework gives us a really powerful insight right off the bat. It says, hey, the problem usually isn't that people are malicious or have bad intentions. No, the real culprit is just fuzziness. It's when expectations don't line up, when nobody's quite sure who's in charge of what, or when the way the money works is just murky. That is the exact problem this system is built to solve. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to look at the 3 key roles in the system, the commitments everyone makes, how the money actually moves, the rules that keep everything safe, and then we'll wrap up with the core idea behind it all, getting clarity before you ever sign a contract. Let's do it. First things first, we've got to understand the foundation of this whole thing. And it all starts with a very clear, very deliberate separation of duties between 3 key players. Once you get these roles, everything else just kind of clicks into place. Yep, 3. That's the magic number here. There are 3 and only 3 distinct roles in this entire ecosystem. And the key is, each one has its own lane. They have their own specific responsibilities, and, this is crucial, their authority doesn't overlap. This separation is honestly the secret sauce to the whole framework's stability. So, let's meet the players. First up, you've got the franchisor, which is TCL. You can think of them as the architect and the general manager of the entire operation. They own the brand, they manage all those critical relationships with the buyers in the US, and they handle the big system-wide stuff like pricing, compliance, and, importantly, collecting and paying out the money. So at the end of the day, TCL takes on all the buyer-facing risk for the whole network. Okay, role number 2, the franchisee. And that's you. You're an independent business, and your job is totally laser-focused on one thing: operational execution. You run your call center, you hire and train your people, and you produce top-notch CPLs. That's cost per leads, basically the qualified customer leads that are the lifeblood of this whole system. You're the production engine. And then there's this third potential role, the support entity. Now, these guys might come in to help you get set up, with onboarding or training or some of the tech stuff. But here's the really important part. Their role is always, always supportive. It's never controlling. They're there to help, but TCL always has the final say on governance. Okay, so we've got the players. Now let's talk about the playbook. The mutual obligations that really make this partnership tick. And believe me, it is absolutely a two-way street. I love how this slide just lays it all out, side by side. It's so clear. You see, TCL commits to bringing the buyers to the table and handling all the complicated money stuff. In return, you commit to supplying the system exclusively, sticking to the quality standards, and just operating your business in a responsible way. There's no gray area. It's a classic if you do this, we'll do that setup, and everyone knows what's expected. And this slide? This is where it gets really real, because it shows you just how performance-driven this whole thing is. TCL guarantees you'll get access to buyers, that the rules will be the same for everyone, and that the revenue share is totally transparent. But, and this is a big but, it does not guarantee a minimum amount of work or a fixed salary. It makes it crystal clear that your success is tied directly to your performance and quality. And that, right there, makes sure everyone is pulling in the same direction. So, we have the roles and we have the commitments. Check. Now let's get to the part everyone really cares about. How does everyone get paid? We're going to follow the money step by step, from the moment a lead is created all the way to your bank account. The way the money works is broken down into this super simple 5-step flow. 1. You produce the CPLs. 2. They pass a quality check. 3. TCL takes over and handles all the invoicing with the buyers. 4. The buyers pay TCL. And 5. TCL distributes your share to you. This is huge because it centralizes all that financial risk with TCL so you're not left chasing down payments. It really helps stabilize your cash flow. And here is the absolute bottom line. Financial clarity is everything. Every single piece of the revenue share is laid out in black and white in your agreement from day one. No hidden fees, no weird undisclosed deductions, no surprises. That kind of transparency is what cuts down on arguments and lets you actually plan and grow your business with confidence. All right, so for a system like this to work for everybody, it needs some guardrails, right? But these rules aren't about holding you back. They're about protecting the integrity of the whole system and the value it creates for every single partner. Okay, let's talk about one of the most important rules, exclusivity. We need to be super clear on what this actually means in this framework. It's simple. As a franchisee, you agree to supply the CPLs you produce only to TCL, so they can then place them with their network of approved buyers. Now, getting this next part right is so important. On one hand, exclusivity is all about protecting the system. It keeps compliance and pricing consistent, and it protects those valuable buyer relationships. But what it does not mean is that you're guaranteed a certain amount of work, or that you get a monopoly on a specific city or state. And, this is a big one, it places absolutely zero restrictions on any other totally unrelated businesses you might want to run. So, what happens when things go a little sideways? Because let's be real, issues pop up. Well, instead of things immediately escalating into a big fight, the framework has these built-in processes for solving problems. If it's an operational issue, you get feedback and an action plan. If it's a compliance thing, it triggers an immediate review. The goal is always to fix the problem and keep the partnership strong. It's about fixing, not fighting. So when you pull all of these pieces together, the roles, the commitments, the money, the rules, they all serve one single primary goal. This is the big idea, the core philosophy that powers this entire framework. You know, this slide really gets to the heart of it. Every single rule we've talked about is a direct counterattack against a specific, common way that partnerships in this industry fail. Those informal side deals, the pricing games, compliance standards slowly slipping away. The framework was built from experience to be a shield against these exact problems. And this, right here, this is the mic drop. The entire point of this whole system is to get to 100% clarity before anyone signs a single legal document. The framework is the real plain English conversation about how the relationship is going to work. The formal contract, that just puts what you've already agreed on into legal language. It doesn't redefine anything. It's all about making sure everyone is on the exact same page from day one. And what does that mean for you? Well, it means you get to build a business on a foundation of trust and transparency, not ambiguity and risk.